We've gotten a response from the superintendent of schools up there. We'll tell you about that coming up the next hour, but as promised, your phone calls. Wilson in Florida, thanks for holding her on the air worldwide.
Hey, good afternoon, Alex. Happy New Year, too. I haven't spoken to you since the New Year. But I just was saying, I want to say that you had a wonderful interview with Ron Paul. I really liked it. And I got a quick question. You said Lord Monckton was like the George Washington in this fight. What would you consider Ron Paul then? I
said Monckton was the George Washington in the climate change fight specifically. Specifically in that area, no one has done more leading the people, exposing the fraud. He's been doing it for 15 years at least. So I didn't mean overall fighting the New World Order. And I know that Monckton likes our founding fathers. He's Scottish. He's criticized tyranny in England. And so that was the point I was making. People don't know that in the UK, in England, some of our biggest supporters in the Revolutionary War were in England. So that was the point by saying George Washington of the climate change fight. This is a global fight. Ron Paul is a polite, intelligent, focused elder statesman. And I wouldn't call him a George Washington. I would perhaps Thomas Jefferson, perhaps John Quincy Adams or something. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not too great on the history, even though I should with the founding fathers. And one last question. I'm not sure if you've seen Ben Stein on TV called Ron Paul anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Do you think that he's going to debate Ron Paul?
I don't think he will. He won't come on this show. We've challenged him to. And Ben Stein made a great film about the environmentalist being eugenicist. And so we wanted him on in a friendly way. But that's all that the neocons have, and that's all the Israel lobby has. Ron Paul is against all foreign aid. He's against it for Egypt. He's against it for China. He's against it for Nigeria. He's against it for Brazil. He's against $25 billion to General Motors to literally spend at least $3 billion of it to ship it to China, Eastern Europe, and Brazil. It's not because he hates Brazilians. He's not anti-Brazilian. And so that's why the ADL and others are being totally discredited, because you say, I don't want a Baker bailout. Oh, you don't like Jews. Oh, I don't, want a police state. Oh, you don't like Jews. And they're actually creating anti-Semitism by always injecting Jews into everything and making Jews take the side of New World Order. It doesn't work anymore. They call everybody anti-Semitic. The ADL attacks me. They don't dare call me anti-Semitic because I've had my lawyer put them on notice of a tort if they ever do it. One time when they did and they retracted, and they've lost lawsuits before, by the way, because of these activities with other people. So they always try to just call me an extremist and the king of conspiracy and all of this stuff. But people need to watch themselves, because, that is a horrible slur and slander to just throw on someone, calling them an anti-Semite. And Jewish groups continue to speak for Jews and inject anti-Semitism into every issue. And it's just completely disastrous for them.
Well, I just want to make one final point that going into the year 2009, I was able to talk to you on New Year's Eve, but this year I couldn't. The lines was a little busy. So that just shows how things are really picking up and how you're really going to have much bigger people paying attention this year. So I
sure, Wilson, I appreciate your call. Happy New Year to you. Have a great New Year fighting tyranny. Folks, we have our own phone system. They only have 6 phone lines at Genesis in Minnesota that we mainly take calls off of. We have a system that can take over 100 calls. And when we open the phone system up for 10 seconds, we'll get 30 or 40. Okay, so, and we could do that years ago. I could take 1,000 phone calls in an hour if I could physically get them on the air. Let's come back and take some more of those calls. Stay with us.
Alex Jones.
It is Thursday, the 7th day of January 2010. It's hard to get used to saying that, but I will soon. By the time I get used to it, it'll be 2011. We're continuing with open phones and then a blitz of news coming up. Seth in Vegas. Seth, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, Alex. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I work at McCarran out in Las Vegas, and I talk with 300 to over 1,000 people a day traveling from all over the country and, of course, out of the country. And I was discussing the body scanners with the young lady that flew in from Philadelphia, and she said that they were body scanning like everybody out there. And I was just wondering if you had have you talked with anybody coming through Philadelphia?
Yes, they want to break people's will because of the underwear bomber. Everywhere where they got the scanners, and now they're trying to put them in 214 major airports. They're taking large portions of people, and I've seen the video on the news, and just getting everybody conditioned as fast as they can during the staged event, during the fear, to try to break our resolve. I mean, the House passed a law against it, and they barely beat it in the Senate, so they're desperate to set the precedent right now.
Yeah, and I've noticed the huge media blitz now with security infractions all over now, that there's this big security problem. You know what they're doing? They're just building it up so they can put these scanners in.
Sir, they suddenly have Army and Marines with National Guard, MPs from the Air Force, Army, everywhere. I see articles every week just randomly in Tennessee, Texas, everywhere, just randomly searching people on highways. We're just being slowly, quietly, it's always just in local papers. Oh, here's the Army. They're getting us ready to fully implode the economy by design. It's a criminal government that's robbed us. They need a police state in place so they can get away with it. And the cops and the military and everybody that are carrying this out, they never allow a national debate because the people would say no. They're just quietly conditioning the local governments and the police right now, Seth, so they can have the full rollout of this. I appreciate your call. Jim in Missouri, or is that Montana? You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, Jim, St. Louis. Just want to give you a couple updates. Apparently there was a disgruntled worker here in St. Louis. CNN's putting it out that 3 apparently are dead, 8 are wounded. Go figure. I just got done shoveling my driveway. Go figure. Global warming. Are we allowed to say that? I don't know yet.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jim. I mean, record cold temperatures in the last century all over the planet, people dying in India, the biggest snowfall in over 100 years in D.C., and the last 9 years the Earth's been cooling according to all the temperature data. But they say you're not allowed to question man-made global warming is going to kill us all.
Get this, Tel Aviv now, just like you said, they are now implementing, instead of just body scanners, they're doing passport, smart card, thumbprint, and a face scan.
And then we're told, oh, we need to bring Israeli style here, where 5 different times you get interrogated, and they're going to do that with the Israelis advising. But on top of it, all the other body scanning, and then Israel's adopting all of our stuff.
Hey, I just want to let you know I support you. I got your membership. I bought a couple shirts.
Thank you.
Just let you know that you're on it, and the truth will always prevail, bud.
Jim, God bless you. We are on the march. The empire is on the run, and it is thanks to people like you, Jim, that we're able to operate. The PrisonPlanet.tv membership's 15 cents a day, $5.95 a month, or get it even cheaper. When you get a year, you get 5.5 months free. That special ends next Friday. People buying the books, the videos, supporting our sponsors. All of that makes this radio show possible, and we couldn't do what we're doing without you. We're going to go to break, and I'm going to try to go to calls even faster. Michael, Joe, Ronnie, and others. 1-800-259-9231. The government is a cult, a criminal enterprise taking over our society. The people are standing up and saying no. Every act of resistance you carry out brings the New World Order 1 inch closer to destruction. We'll be right back after this quick break. Ton of news coming up as well.